And welcome to Spotlight, where we showcase phenomenal entrepreneurs and their stories. Cancer, a word none of us want to hear, and yet we hear it way too often. In fact, in the US alone, over 1,500 people are diagnosed every day. And although it can be terminal, the good news is people are living well beyond their initial diagnosis. And a huge part of that is attributed to their health and fitness. And that is why I am so excited to bring you cancer exercise specialist and the founder of Cancer Champion Fitness, Jen Miramontes. Jen, welcome.
Thank you.
You
so
know
much.
I love you. You know I love what you're up to in the world. But why is Cancer Champion Fitness so important to you? Tell us a little bit about how that came to be.
There's a variety of reasons, but primarily I've always been in fitness. It's just something I've done since I was a child. I started competing competitively, running competitively in grammar school, and so having that background and knowing what to do, as far as training an athlete, I felt very confident until the day my mom was diagnosed with cancer, and it was terminal. And one of the questions I asked her was, what do you want to do, Mom? Do you want to travel? What's on your bucket list?
Right.
And she decided that she wanted to hike in and out of the Grand Canyon.
Okay, that's no small feat. Like not that I want to go see Europe. Like I want to go hike the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, in and out of it with a pack.
Wow.
And so I thought, kind of put on that trainer hat and thought, okay, I can teach her. Like I can do this. We can do this. And talked to her oncologist and got the green light. And she was going through radiation and chemotherapy and it was dicey at times. We weren't sure if she was going to be able to do it, but the goal was there, and she did it.
Wow.
And she did it with the training. But one of the things that I recognized at that time was two things. I don't really know what I'm doing when it comes to cancer. I know how to train people, but I don't know how to train somebody who's has a diagnosis like this.
Right.
First. Secondly, they're saying eat right, change your, try to make sure that you're eating nutrient dense foods and and such. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, but what?
Right. What does that mean? Yeah.
Okay.
If you don't get that as a trainer, imagine what the person watching or who diagnosed is feeling when they hear that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that became a goal of mine. That was, 17 years ago.
Wow.
And so that, she made it in and out of the Grand Canyon. She didn't survive the cancer, but she did live a better life than she would have probably those last years with the work that she did exercise-wise. She didn't stop.
Why is it so important, Jen? Why is exercise so important? Because you would think once you're diagnosed with cancer, you're going through radiation, you're going through chemo, you probably the last thing you want to do at the end of the day is exercise.
Absolutely.
Why is it so important?
Well, there's a variety of reasons. I mean, primarily, it's really what it does for just your soul and you're just the fatigue. Believe it or not, you're tired.
Yeah.
But when you exercise, you get these great endorphins. They're a real thing. And
Okay, wait a second. When you're tired, you need to exercise. That's a tip for people who don't have cancer, right?
Absolutely.
It actually gives you energy.
Right.
Yes.
When you want it the least, you probably need it the most.
Oh, so good. Yeah.
So, there's that, just the fatigue factor alone, but there's also study after study that shows that it decreases the reoccurrence rate in people with cancer, that people live longer and live better through cancer with exercise and proper nutrition.
Well, we're also finding that nutrition plays such a huge part in cancer, in the before being diagnosed and after. Tell us a little bit about what you've learned about nutrition since going down, this road into Cancer Champion.
Right. So, I have certifications in nutrition. I know a fair bit. I'm not a therapeutic nutritionist, but
You have one on the team.
I do. And that's necessary because you need somebody. I will arrogantly say that I know everything I need to know. Well, you're always learning, but when it comes to exercise, I'm confident, I'm comfortable. Yeah. I've, since 18 years now, I've been working with people with cancer when it comes to exercise. The nutrition I know some about, but I needed somebody else to come in and that knows food like I know exercise.
Right.
So,
and that is such a powerful component. The fact that, you are so specialized in the exercise area and you've brought someone in who really understands the food, because it is the combination of them both, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Yep. And for example, when my mom was getting, it was harder for her to eat and keep food down. The recommendation was Ensure, and that just didn't sit well with me when I read the ingredient list. I just thought, my gosh,
there's got to be something better.
Yeah. And so the woman that I have that's our nutritionist, she also has worked with a lot of the cancer patients that I've worked with. She's created a smoothie that's an 800 calorie nutrient dense smoothie. It could be what somebody can get in their body that day, and they're going to get nourishment. And we know how we feel when we eat well, even when we aren't battling a disease like cancer. So imagine when you're going through chemo and radiation and not feeling well, to get these great nutrients in your body easily, or to know why. Our recipes, we say why, why turmeric, why this is good for you.
Good.
Why, when you've got digestive issues, do you want this special ginger tea that was created by Cancer Champion Fitness?
Yeah. I just love it because, again, when it comes to food and fitness, it can be so overwhelming. There's so many different products and services out there, and yet you specialize in working with cancer patients. And tell me a little bit about your specialty, because in doing some research, I've learned that you are only one of 500 in the world that carry this level of certification.
Right.
That's, first of all, congratulations. That's amazing. It also tells us why Cancer Champion Fitness is the place we need to go. But why was that something that you knew you wanted to do? And why don't more people have it?
Okay. Well, first of all, I was tasked, after working with my mom and getting a medical exercise specialty. Back then, there wasn't a thing called the cancer exercise specialty. That came about a little over 10 years ago. And to answer your question on why more people aren't certified in this, I would say it's twofold. I think that I know that it's a very difficult certification. You need to have about 1,000 hours of working with people with cancer in order to get the certification. So it's challenging in just the time commitment, and it's about a year to 2 years of understanding cancers and staying up on it, because there's so many changes. So that probably is the part of the reason that people aren't, I would say primarily the reason that trainers aren't necessarily going toward that certification. It's also hard. It's hard to work with people with cancer. Who became my very best friend was the person that kind of tasked me with reaching out to. She said, it's not okay that I'm the only one, or there's this small group of people that get you. More people need you. It's not, you need to do something about this. Yeah.
And what did she task you with before she passed?
So I'll never forget, because this is my friend Anne Marie Page, gotta say it. She, a fellow New Englander, and I remember sitting in the infusion center with her, and she said, you got to look around here, Jen. I get you. They don't. They don't know. They don't have somebody that found the smoothie for them. That they don't have the person that says, I know you have a port, but we can work around that. I know what we did.
That champions them too. That says you can get through this. You can get through another day.
With confidence.
Right. Yes, we all need that in our lives, and especially at that moment.
Yeah, because it's scary. It can be scary. You're working with somebody that's, could be fragile at that moment. But to say, I know you can do this. I know you can do, 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes. You will feel better. So she said, if you need to come up with something, you need to figure out a way to reach somebody in Australia. That doesn't get you. Like, I want to be able to call my friend that lives in London and say, you can have a little bit of Jen.
Right.
And so you got to figure that out. And that was 5 years ago.
Oh.
Took a while.
It took a while, but you know what? I mean, we love her, and we, definitely feel the spirit, and it's brought you to where you are. And there's nothing else like Cancer Champion Fitness. So before we jump into that, the spotlight is all about also highlighting amazing entrepreneurs, and you do have such an amazing story. You have such a beautiful heart to heal people and help people. You obviously take good care of yourself. But this idea came up, and then how did you feel when you initially had it? Was it like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? Or was it not me? Because I feel like a lot of us have this calling that might seem so big, and you're saying, oh gosh, I don't know if I can do this task or follow up on this calling.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think you well know that I love this, and this is just right in my wheelhouse. Working with people, like getting to know them and seeing what they can do. It's super easy for me. The online world, I could barely get onto Facebook. Like the online world.
Talk about something that's always changing,
right?
Yes.
It was a challenge for sure, but challenges are good, and we need to grow. And so, difficulty-wise, it was a big step, a big growth thing. But and looking back, had somebody said, "This is what is ahead of you. This is what you're going to need to do to create this," I might not have done it.
Yes, you would have. But it is part of kind of the entrepreneur step is that step of faith, and then surrounding yourself with team and finding the right resources. Because, you're one of those in those places where you are the technician, you are the healer, you are the expert, but you don't have to be an expert in everything to grow something. And we have to remember that, right? That, and same thing with cancer, you need to be able to show up and do the thing that you can do and surround yourself with people that will champion you. And starting a business is really the same thing.
Absolutely. I have said it a million times that this program would not exist if I didn't have team.
Yeah.
I mean, it's overwhelming putting together a business like this. Right. It's a brand new thing, and definitely a stretch as far as, the back end of it all. But when you get people behind you, and the great thing is the team loves it and believes in it, and you feel that, the excitement. It's true.
But that comes from you, right? Team comes from leadership. And I feel like because you're so committed and you're so excited and you already have such great results, Jen, I'm so excited for more people to learn about Cancer Champion Fitness. And whenever we talk about it, I feel like there's a drove of people that come together saying, I wish my mom had this. I wish my sister had this. I wish I had this. And it's not just women, right? It's men too.
Oh, absolutely.
So tell us a little bit more about the program. What can people expect? What exactly is it? And how do they get access to it?
Okay, so, what they can expect is a comprehensive program that involves meal plans. So if somebody wants a laid out menu for the week that includes breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, beverages, that is nutrient dense and with the caloric needs, depending, it gives you, this could be, if for somebody who's trying to watch their weight, this is what we would suggest. If for somebody that needs to add a little bit of weight, this is what's suggested. Okay. So comprehensive meal plans.
Right.
For those that are like, that's overwhelming to me, that that's too much, you can choose in the recipe section, lunches, dinners, breakfast. So they are broken out that way. So, and every recipe says why.
Yeah.
So,
and that's what I love, is that I know why I'm eating this, what it's doing for my body.
Yes. Yeah. Because then you're more motivated. So
sure.
If you don't have that appetite.
To not go get the McDonald's hamburger or crap food that's not going to nourish your body and your soul. Yeah.
Absolutely. So the nutrition aspect is amazing. I'm very, very proud of that. Also in that light, there are nutrition FAQs. It's a long list of the questions because there's so many questions. Oncologists are extraordinarily busy what they're dealing with. When we know that 1 in 3 are going to be diagnosed with cancer, imagine how busy an oncologist
First of all,
is.
It's just so hard to wrap my head around. As the 4 of us were in the back makeup room thinking of that statistic, it is heavy and scary.
Yeah, it is. And an oncologist is doing their best to prescribe the radiation and the chemotherapy, and then they, throw out, and this did happen, I remember this with my mom, like I said earlier, you
Eat right.
you eat right and exercise.
Yeah, and they're like, how do I do that?
But so this is an opportunity. It's the third prescription that an oncologist can provide their patient with confidence, knowing that this is a very legitimate place for people to go that are battling cancer, with great nutritious recipes, with exercise videos that the videos go from 5 minutes on the couch. So somebody that just barely has any energy, but they want to do something, they want to feel like I'm doing something that day. 5 minutes, and it may be just leg lifts or some tricep dips, maybe it's just arm circles, and it's 5 minutes, all the way up to 30 minutes of high intensity for those that are maybe at the very beginning and they haven't started their chemotherapy and they've got some more energy and they're like, I got to go into this, like
I want to get in the best shape I can as I'm fighting this.
Which I do get a lot of people calling me. I've been diagnosed with this. I've got a couple weeks before I start treatment. I want to get on the front end of it. Also, we do live calls once a week, and so that is an opportunity for us to address questions that maybe we haven't addressed yet on the website, and that gives us an opportunity to talk to people about, let's say this Thursday it's going to be the importance of sleep, and then next week it's how stress affects us and how to reduce it.
And do they have access to you as well as far as questions go? If they have questions, is there a place that they can submit those?
Yes. Okay. So we have, I referenced Facebook. We have a private Facebook group, and it's only people that are members of the Cancer Champion Fitness group. And so that is where a lot of the questions come in.
And the community, think about that. When you're going through something really difficult, the last thing you want to do is feel alone. And so many friends and family, they have no idea how to help. And your site will soon also provide resources that friends and family can actually provide, different products and services to support their loved one going through cancer. But this would also be a beautiful gift to give someone that who's being, diagnosed or going through that. I feel like people don't know what to do. Yes. And I want to talk about that here in a minute. But the fact that you've built this beautiful community that's safe, right? And that people can say, hey, you know what? I'm dealing with this, or I have a question about this, that maybe someone wouldn't quite understand otherwise.
Right. And to your point, the community, I'm having a tough day.
Yeah.
I don't want to get out of bed.
Right.
Or I have to let my kids know what's going on. Do you have suggestions? And we've seen this already, and the communication that's happening between
that makes me tear up, the thought of that. Yeah.
It's a tough community to be in, but it's so important to have that, that kind of the people that understand, they're with you.
Yeah. And again, that will champion you. I think that the name of the program is so perfect because we need those people that we can go to when we are having a bad day, when we don't want to do one leg lift on the sofa, right?
Yeah.
I mean, regardless of what state we're in, to have that community that's going to say, you can do this today. You can do 5 minutes, right? And I feel like if we could just all do 5 minutes of something every day, that would help fuel our bodies and our mind and our soul, we'd all be better off. So, Jen, I love you. I love what you're creating. We're so blessed that you have created this program, and I know so many people are going to benefit. If there's someone watching this like, oh my gosh, not only do I need it, or I want to learn more, or I want to tell my mom about this, how do they find out more about Cancer Champion Fitness?
Well, the easiest way is to go to our website, to cancerchampionfitness.com. And at that point, there's just all of the information that includes the resources, the why behind why do we need exercise? Why do we need proper nutrition? It talks about my background, our nutritionist background.
Yeah, I mean, again, the level of expertise you and your team bring to these patients, to these members, is really extraordinary that they can't get anywhere else. So that alone is worth its weight in gold.
Right. Yeah. It's very hard to find. Also, nutritionists that are experts in this area. So that would be probably the easiest way, is to just peruse that website and get a chance to look and see what we have and what we have to offer. I think that would be the...
All right. Well, we'll make sure to put a link below and spread the word. Maybe you're not affected with cancer or know of someone right now, but I promise you that someone is, right? So please take a moment and share this interview, share the website. Let's get more people surrounded by champions that are going to help them through, what can be a really devastating and difficult time in their life. And yet, I know many people that are in remission and, go well and beyond, that initial diagnosis. Right. So Jen, what would you tell someone who's battling cancer right now?
I would go back to a conversation that I had with Anne Marie Page when she said to me, you need to provide hope to everyone that is battling cancer, not just the people that you work with on a day-to-day basis. Mm-hmm. And that would be my message to you. If you have received this diagnosis, don't give up hope. Through the journey, you can exercise, you can eat well, you can have the support of a community, and we'll be there for you. We want to be there for you. Your community wants to be there for you. Seeing the camaraderie and the interactions, even though it's not one-on-one, it could be from, the UK to Scotland to California. You've got a community behind you that will provide that hope and that support that's so necessary when you're on this journey, this cancer journey.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for bringing hope to so many. And again, thank you for watching this interview. Please share it and let's spread the word. Let's help more people fight this battle, right? 1 in 3, it's not acceptable. Let's really focus on our health and our fitness and our community, no matter where you're at. So again, go to cancerchampionfitness.com. And please comment below. We would love to hear from you. If this has touched you, or you know of someone that's battling cancer, or maybe you are right now, and this interview has inspired you in some way, please post your comments because we love hearing from you and we'll definitely respond. And remember to keep dreaming it, living it, and being it. Until next time.